Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Wednesday, June 24th. Going to go ahead and apologize about the no intro music. I don't know what happened, but we're going to roll with it. We're here. We're still remote.
Yeah, maybe you should sing. Maybe you should sing.
It doesn't have any words, so I don't know how I could sing it.
Just hum. Just like Shrek and Donkey. Just. Well,
It's not Shrek. It's just Donkey.
yeah, but Shrek tells him to hum.
But yeah, sorry about that. But we're here, and that's all that's important. We're still remote. Okay, I don't like the remote thing. I like being with you because you're my best friend.
Hey, I appreciate that. That hit home.
I got you.
I felt that.
But you're in a place where the COVID numbers are spiking like crazy, so I think we might need to do the show remote for another week.
Maybe. I do know that today, starting at 5:00, like any store you went into, you have to wear a mask. It's the law.
The law. I don't even know who the governor is.
Not a great sign.
So are you all going, like, y'all are just pretty much beach and eat now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no point in going to a store.
No. No, we went to Walmart before we got here, so we're kind of done with the whole grocery store for now.
There you go. It's pretty crazy. I mean, like, especially even here, like the Sevier County numbers are spiking.
Yeah. What's weird, there's people next to us at the beach, and they're from Sevier County.
Oh wow, they definitely got it.
Definitely got it. Sevco and Florida, there's just no getting away from it.
I don't think this is a violation of HIPAA, but Emily tested negative for it, so I probably don't have it. So that's good.
That's good.
Sorry if I violated. I mean, I didn't.
So she took the nose test?
Yeah, she said it's terrible.
Oh, I bet. It looks like they touch your brain.
They scrape it. They scrape your brain.
It's like when Napoleon Dynamite's picking his nose in the movie.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Doing? Digging for your or touching your brain.
It's exactly like that. No, yeah, I was pretty nervous, I'll be honest, when she had to take it for a job because they have to go into nursing homes. Mm-hmm. And so when she said that she was having to do it, I was like, God, if she tests positive, I'm gonna kill myself. Because I coach soccer. Like, there's people I would have exposed them to it. Yeah, I would have sucked. So that's the good news. But guys, we've got a great show. Again, I know it's remote, but we're making it work, and it happens. We do what we do. We're previewing Furman. I know this isn't the most exciting one, but we're going game by game and doing a kind of more in-depth preview of each team. And then we're going to talk about some team news, really the basketball team, as speaking of COVID cases, but also some number update. We got some football number updates, but we also got some basketball number updates yesterday.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And then we're doing a Vols all-decade team. I don't know why we didn't do this earlier when I guess we just hit the point where we're so bored now.
Yeah, because we did a show on Monday, so today, like, there isn't really a lot hasn't happened in 2 days.
No, what was funny, though, speaking of the show on Monday, is right before we got on the show, MLB was in the middle of that. We're coming back. We're not coming back. We're coming back. And now they're coming back?
Officially official? Is it officially official until it actually happens, I guess?
Apparently, which we'll talk more about it, but apparently the commissioner had the ability to just say we're playing the whole time.
I guess. He has the final say. Why didn't you just use that like months ago?
Bingo. Don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about that, though. And then we've got some segments for you all. It's going to be a great show. Landon's going to tell you all about the people that make the show happen. Before he does that, make sure you go to volunteerroadshow.com and sign up for an account. You're going to be entered for some giveaways that we'll be doing later on as the season approaches, if the season approaches.
Yeah, do that. Go check out our sponsors, Hound Dogs and Tennessee Tap House. Go get you some brews, get you some Vols gear. No better way to spend your Saturdays than both of those things.
Absolutely not. We got to go to Tennessee Tap House soon. We haven't been because COVID started as soon as we heard about it, as soon as we joined Volunteer Roadshow. So
yeah, we'll have to do that. I don't know about soon, but maybe soon.
In relative terms, soon.
Right.
Like as soon as we can.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. I'm jumping on Twitter and YouTube, and Landon's got. Are you on Facebook? Are you able to get on?
Yep, I'm on
Landon's
Facebook.
got Facebook. So if you got any questions, drop those in the comments. We'll be happy to answer them, and we'll be happy to get to them. If we don't get to it immediately, hang on. Don't run away. Don't think we didn't see it. We'll do our best to get to it. We've got a spot in the show dedicated to them, so just go ahead and drop them, and we'll make sure we get to those questions at some point. Let's talk about Furman. The Paladins. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, I think you are Paladins.
Sorry. Pulled up something in front of your face. I can't see you now. The Paladins, and I think we talked about this last time that we kind of mentioned Furman. The guy that always gets brought up for the Tennessee coaching job whenever it George Quarles.
The old ball coach. 11 state titles at Maryville and leading the offense. And he's pretty much like he's pretty much a head coach. Like they should be just co-head coaches. Right. He's a associate head coach, quarterbacks and offensive coordinator. He's pretty much a head coach.
Pretty much. And I mean, he was so Clay Hendricks, who is the head coach. They were college roommates. I'm sorry, what?
Allegedly.
They were college roommates, right? Is that the story?
I didn't know that.
I think that was
okay.
So he was hired from Air Force, I think, if I'm remembering this correctly. He was an offense coordinator there, I think. And I think when he got the job at Furman, I think George Quarles was his first call, I believe.
Okay.
If I remember everything.
That'd probably be my first call, too.
Especially if I was his roommate. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. The dude's a winner. I don't like you should win. That's the bottom line.
Bottom line.
The thing that's scary is that they took Georgia State all the way down to the wire.
So that's what I was going to say. If you look at their season last year, they're not an unimpressive FCS team.
No, they're not. It's a good one. I think they finished number 16 in the final poll and were ranked in the top 10 like 2 times. They end up going 8-5, but they, like I said, Georgia State, they played Virginia Tech, and they played leading
Virginia Tech tight.
Yeah, they're leading both those games at halftime.
Okay, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious that, if you know anything about George Quarles, you know that offense is going to be solid. I mean, just know.
Oh, yeah,
if you've been
they're not going to make mistakes.
Right. And then Clay Hendricks was a part of a coaching staff, too, at Air Force that was incredibly successful, for Air Force, I should say. But, yeah, again, it's an FC. I'm not saying all this to say they should play Tennessee tight. I'm not saying that. Tennessee should go in there and take care of business. It shouldn't be a problem. This is – I do want to say, okay, so I know we obviously picked Charlotte to win. I think we both picked Tennessee to beat Oklahoma, didn't we? Last time we talked about Oklahoma. I know you did. I know I was kind of on the fence. So Tennessee's 2-0. Furman could be 2-0 going into this game, which, won't make it interesting, but is every time we play – let me ask you this. How many cupcake opponents do you have to beat soundly before you're not going, well, it happened at Georgia State?
A lot. It's going to be like when's the last time, I guess, we lost a game like that?
Wyoming in 07? I don't know. I'm trying to
remember. So, is it a decade? Does a decade just erase it?
I think it's a coach, though. It's the coach.
Okay, that would make sense.
And obviously, it doesn't get. Here's the funny thing. So it gets brought up with Nick Saban, but it only gets brought up with Nick Saban to say good coaches can lose those games too.
Right.
So it's funny.
I don't know. It's scary, but it's a game you should win. Right. You should get some backups in. It could be one of those red shirt games where you utilize the 4 games and play some of those freshmen.
If you haven't seen Harrison Bailey yet, you should see him this game.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Yeah. If he's not playing in the second half, there's a problem. And I kind of said this about Charlotte, too. If it's close at halftime, I think you see Harrison Bailey anyways, because if it's close at halftime under Jarrett Garantano, I think you need to be figuring out something for the next week.
You got to do something else.
So I think we should have
working.
Exactly. I think we should have already seen Harrison Bailey. And then let's say we haven't. I don't know. But you should definitely – it's an FCS opponent. Granted, they've had some good seasons, but there's no reason you shouldn't go in there and take care of business. I mean, it's an FCS opponent. It's that simple.
And it's a team that, is run heavy, kind of like Georgia State. They're a weird multiple kind of offense, but it's wing T type.
Right.
I was watching some of their highlights against Virginia Tech before the show, and they basically just like run a guy from the left tackle or right tackle, basically run the running back to where he's in an I formation and run a play. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, I guess
just trying to confuse pre-snap, I guess, alignment.
Yeah. Or maybe they like have somebody following him, so when he stops, they keep going. I don't know. It's a game you should win. Your defense should dominate. They have, like you said, the offense is going to be decent. Like they're going to be for an FCS team, they're going to be one of the best in the country. They're not going to make a ton of mistakes, just like his Maryville teams didn't.
Right.
And just like his Maryville teams didn't have a ton of athletes. No. And just like compared to Tennessee's athletes, they don't have a ton of guys that should make a ton of plays, but they're not gonna make mistakes, and they're gonna make you outwork them.
Right.
So you got to do it.
If you don't win this game, Bob,
40 points.
It's when we played Chattanooga last year. It's when we played Chattanooga. All was disappointing, and you'd lost to Georgia State and BYU. You just needed to go win. And actually, this opponent is very, very similar to Chattanooga. They play in the Southern Conference. They actually finished one spot above Chattanooga last year in the Southern Conference. So, I mean, it's a very, very comparable opponent. Also, I want to mention a guy that's local to Knoxville. He was a first-team 5-star preps. I think he was an all-state player. Ty Youngblood from Greenville High School. He'll be on the Greenville roster. So
yeah, he will. Baylor Hughes will be from Powell. He's another one that signed with them. And I think a kid from Hardin Valley. I think a wide receiver from Hardin Valley is also part of that class.
Yeah, that's right. And there's several other Tennessee guys. A lot from Nashville. I don't know what exactly that connection is, but there's a lot of them. So, yeah, it's a game you should win. Game you should take care of. Like this should be a warm up game for Florida. This is our warm-up, so we'll be talking about Florida next Wednesday, I think. Is that what we decided?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Whenever you want to, man. It's up to you.
So position preview on Sunday,
okay.
And then we'll preview our next opponent for the 2020 season. That's Florida. We'll be talking about them. This should be a warm-up game. You should get comfortable. You should see a lot of guys you haven't probably seen yet. Charlotte should
I do want to mention real quick just some of the guys that they have. They have Darren Granger, who was a redshirt freshman last year, put up 1,500 yards of total offense. I think 1,100 of it was passing, and about 300 or 400 was rushing. And then Devin Wynn is actually their big time back. He'll be a senior, rushed for 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns last season. And their defensive guys, Adrian Hope, has 21 and a half sacks in 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
In 23 games, he has 21 and a half sacks and 26.5, 26 and a half tackles for loss.
That's pretty solid.
In those two.
So there's going to be guys that could pose at least a little bit of trouble that you have to account for.
Yep. This is the game you should get a lot of experience in.
Yeah.
Hopefully, bless up. Hopefully, just win. Okay. We'll start with winning, and then you win. Then you win big.
Right. And you talk about that experience. This game definitely should be a win on your schedule, but you should also see a lot of guys. It's that redshirt rule is pretty much made for these games. You have these cupcake games. Use that. You should be comfortable, be winning comfortably, and then be able to get some guys in that can use those. They're not going to play more than 4 games, but they get some game experience, and they get to play in Neyland Stadium, which is cool.
Yep, 100%.
That's what we'll be looking out for. Moving on to some basketball team news. Tom, I can't say his name. You got it? S-I-D?
Yeah, Tom S.
It's Mr. S from School of Rock.
Schneeblade.
They announced on Tuesday that a second player had tested positive for COVID-19. I told you before we got on the show, somebody was spreading rumors over on the Facebook page. I know. Shocker. That they were in bad shape. There's no evidence of that. I would not believe that. Especially when you're talking about they're probably not even.
And like, did they see this person? Because that's not good.
They're probably not even experiencing symptoms. Probably. I'm not saying it's not possible that they're experiencing symptoms and potentially in the hospital, but they're probably not. We haven't heard anything. And then also you have your 2 international players returning Friday. Is that right? Monday? This weekend.
I don't think they're in Friday. I think it was Saturday or Sunday.
They came back in.
They were supposed to be on campus. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was this weekend they're supposed to come back in. Okay. Like this
maybe it got pushed back. I don't know for sure when they were supposed to be on campus. Gotcha. I know that when the first one was announced, they were not on campus yet.
Right. Okay. So internationals either are already just got back or are returning this weekend, one or the other. But with that, some new and let's say this too. That's 2 players from the basketball team and still 0 on the football team, and you haven't heard any the women's basketball team return too. I don't know what the numbers were. I don't know how many returned to campus. Haven't heard that any players have tested positive from the women's side as well.
Yeah, how nuts is that the basketball team has twice as many players as the football team?
Right.
I mean, that's just wild to think about.
I meant to look at it. I guess let's look at I'm curious to look and see where, as a whole, the basketball players are from, because we know the football players are mostly going to be from rural areas. They're not from these big urban, yeah. Whereas, first off, you have 2 international players, one from South America, where we talked about COVID is pretty bad, and then one from Europe, where COVID is pretty bad. So, I mean, there's a chance, probably a higher chance that they could come into contact with someone who had it, or they could themselves have it. But football, I mean, I don't know. It just seems so. Charleston, South Carolina, that's a pretty high area. Buffalo, New York, pretty high area. I don't know about Charlotte. Austin, Texas, I think is pretty high. I don't know how see anywhere else in here that stands out to me. I think that's pretty much it. That's besides the 2 that I mentioned were who went back home. You said they did go back to their okay. Because as far as I know, Eves did not go back to France, right?
I don't think so.
I mean, he was on campus in like April because they released that video of him playing Careless Whisper.
Right.
And then probably training for the NBA right now too. So he's probably not even back on camp. He's probably not on campus participating in basketball activities. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you said, it definitely is weird that 2 players have tested positive, but it also means they probably didn't get it on campus. They probably had it prior to returning to campus.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the good thing. But like you said, that they're probably not like experiencing any symptoms whatsoever, just because I guess most of them are in good health. I don't think I've heard any of them being high risk.
Right. And then when you're talking about just the age groups, most people in that age group, in our age group, are not going to show symptoms. So
right.
It is what it is. Hopefully they make a full, if they are, sick, they make a full recovery. Obviously don't wish ill on anybody. And then hopefully they're not spreading it either. Is obviously the goal too. You would prefer not. And a lot of people are starting to, I guess, talk about college athletics as a whole, that the number of positives are making it, less likely for sports to return. I'm sure that's true to an extent, but if they didn't expect there to be positives, then college athletics was not going to happen in the fall. You had to know they were going to be positive.
Oh yeah.
And you had to assume that most would.
Yeah, it was the plan was to, keep them isolated where they're not able to spread it, and just hope for the best, pretty much. But they couldn't go. They couldn't just say we're not having sports just because a player might get it.
Right. Yeah. It was like you said. It's about limiting the spread. So yeah, the numbers are obviously not good per se, but they had to expect this. If they didn't, then they're dumb. I mean, whoever's in charge, which I guess we knew they were dumb, but it also wasn't going to happen. in the first place. Like, they're not going to draw the line at one person.
Well, you did mention Austin, Texas being one of the players is from. I'm wondering, like, because University of Texas had 28 players. Mm-hmm. So is there something in Austin, Texas that's well, I mean, I'm not trying to point out who it is because I have no clue, but I'm saying, like, if that's a thing, is Austin, Texas just overloaded with COVID right now?
I don't know if I'd say. I don't know for sure. I guess we can look it up real quick. I think Austin is. I think their numbers have been pretty high compared to the rest of the country. I mean, not insanely high, not like LA or New York or anywhere like that. But I think their numbers have been compared to let's compare them to Knoxville. I think they've been pretty high.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Austin. Austin's numbers are, I think, and I think Texas as a whole is pretty high. But like the Clemson one is the most confusing to me.
Yeah, that's kind of weird too.
Like, those guys, I would be curious to see where they're, because they're able to pretty much track it and assume where you get them from. I think now, like, they do their due diligence and going back and trying to figure out, where you got it from, who you could have spread it to, yada yada. So yeah, the Clemson, because Clemson had like 20, or no, I think Clemson had 13, maybe. I think LSU had 23.
No, I think Clemson was the 23 one.
Okay, then LSU is probably the 13, which they were. I told you
13.
I told you last show that they were able to determine 2 of LSU's players got it at a Baton Rouge nightclub.
Yeah, the Bayou's just swarming with COVID.
Yeah, I didn't think COVID could survive in the Bayou. I thought only Cajun people could survive in the Bayou. I didn't think COVID had a chance.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought if you were able to swim in like swamp water, you were immune.
Yeah, exactly. No, I thought that was the assumption. Yeah, if you swim in Fort Loudoun, Tennessee River, you can't get COVID. It's impossible.
Yeah, you're immune. Or if you use a off in Cool Beans, probably immune.
Right. I can't find the numbers right now for Austin. It said this number.
I was just that's just a weird number. Then we had a player from Austin, so I just thought that.
No, I mean it's certainly possible. I mean you also we've pointed out that some of these players. I mean it's possible the ones that tested positive in Texas at the University of Texas potentially never left Austin because there were a number of players that were in Knoxville the entire time that didn't go back home. Right. So it's not necessarily they went home. It's possible. It's possible the basketball player that tested positive never left Knoxville. I don't know who all stayed on campus, but it's possible.
Yeah, 100%.
I did see 10 days ago that I didn't see a number, but it said their highest spike since COVID
started.
So, yeah, so that was 10 days ago. I can't find the exact number. I'm not going to spend my time searching too hard for that. Yeah, maybe I'll prepare. I'll go full Clay Travis on you and have some COVID numbers for you next episode.
Okay, yeah, just give me all the updates. That's all I want.
He's gonna have a mental breakdown overall of this and NASCAR. He is going to lose his mind.
Like we talk about Tim Tebow, like every time he talks, he yells. Clay Travis, every time he talks now, he's yelling.
Oh yeah. And who's his guy at Fox Sports with him? God, what's his name? He's been tweeting about the NASCAR thing too. What is his name? Whitlock? Jason Whitlock? Is that it?
I don't know who that is.
I think it's Jason Whitlock. They're both going to have a mental health crisis. Going just yelling at, like you said.
Yeah, they're gonna
yelling at
people. Bust some blood vessels in their head if they don't chill.
I love it. I don't. I don't love it, but it is entertaining for sure.
Yeah, it's like this. It's very serious, but man, like, chill.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the entire time they're screaming like the media's lying to you. The media's lying to you. I'm just like,
yeah, and they're like, there's nothing you can do about it. Even if they are, there's nothing you can do about it.
I don't know why are you yelling at me about it?
Yeah.
Go back on
the media.
Was it him or Portnoy that said boobs on CNN? Go back on CNN and yell boobs.
He did. That was funny.
Right, but
again, he's yelling, but at least it was boobs. Like that's way more appealing than COVID.
Oh gosh. So basketball numbers, anyways. Physical numbers. They were given out to freshmen, and then you even had one change or newcomers, and you even had one change with Urosh going from what number was he before?
34.
He was 34. Wow, just one down, huh?
Yeah.
He's losing in other parts of his game to gain in other parts of his game. Losing a
numeral.
Yeah. So number 33 now, Urosh. And then Jaden Springer is going to wear number 11. Corey Walker is going to wear 15. Keon Johnson's going to wear 45. And EJ Anasicki, number 55.
55.
I love it.
The old Nicky number.
Yeah, friend of the show. I think he even said that on the show, didn't he? Didn't he say he was going
to
wear 55?
Yeah, I think he said he was going to wear number 55.
Okay, so we knew that. No big deal.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So while we're looking at the newcomers, I want to, well, obviously Urosh isn't. We've said this before, but I want to ask you again, see if it's, I don't honestly remember it, but might as well talk about it again. Who's your favorite newcomer? Who are you expecting the most out of?
I'm real Jaden Springer is probably most people's. Mine's Keon Johnson, just because Tennessee guy. I think when Tennessee guys put on the uniform in any sport, I think it just means more. And he's a guy from Bell Buckle, Tennessee, and I just like his game. I think he dominated. He dominated that USA camp. He was one of the best players there, so I'm just really excited. Kid can shoot. Kid can dribble. Kid can get to the rim. I'm just really excited for Keon Johnson and this whole class as a whole. But I think Keon Johnson is one that I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah, I think the impact those two freshmen are going to have are going to be drastic.
Because Tennessee's never had they've had one freshman come in, but they haven't had two freshmen really come in with this high of expectations. And that's going to be is our team going to be good or are we going to be bad? And, it's based off those two guys have to come in and produce for us to be a really good basketball team.
Yeah, and I think what you mentioned, you don't have two freshmen that could be so impactful typically. These are two freshmen that could potentially be one and dones.
Yeah, when's Tennessee ever had two one and dones? Right. Have they ever? I doubt it.
Doubt it. And then even Tennessee's rarely had one and dones. I mean, you look at the last one, I believe, was Tobias Harris, right?
Mm-hmm.
He may not be a one and done if Bruce Pearl doesn't get his show calls. He may be a guy that stays around.
Yeah.
I mean, he got drafted. He had the ability to be a one and done, but I don't think it was a final decision until Bruce Pearl left.
Right. Yeah.
Was fired.
Yeah, he probably he probably stays around. Because that would have been. Never mind. That was the next year would have been the year we went to the NIT, right?
Yeah, I think we went to the NIT 2 years in a row before.
And then it was the Sweet 16.
Yeah. Okay. So Jarnell Stokes came in Konzo's first year. I mean, you're potentially talking about a team with. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're potentially talking about a team with Tobias Harris and Jarnell Stokes on the same team. Because Jarnell Stokes said he was coming to Tennessee. I mean, Bruce Pearl pretty much got him there. I mean, Konzo obviously had to do the last little bit of convincing once he was on campus. But and then the reason Jarnell Stokes, if I remember correctly, the reason he was an early enrollee is because he couldn't play his final year of high school basketball because he transferred.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was probably going to enroll at Tennessee early regardless, which I guess Tobias leaving probably opened up that scholarship spot. So he probably isn't an early enrollee. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to go back and do some research
right.
on. But yeah, that would have been fun. Jarnell Stokes and Tobias Harris on the same team. We're not going to the NIT. I'll tell you that.
No, we're not. You're right. You're absolutely right. So my favorite, I don't know. I shouldn't say my favorite because I like the two wings. I like bringing in Jaden Springer and Keon Johnson. I think they're going to be. I mean, look at what. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking right now? Vescovi did, and he wasn't just a super dynamic guy. Imagine what those guys are going to do on the wing.
Oh yeah, I mean it was just Euroball. I mean, luckily he was good enough to produce the way he did because we would have been in trouble.
Yes. But I'm excited to see E.J. Anosike. I am. He's got a ton of experience, big body. We needed that last season. You just couldn't find it. As much as Fulgerson and even Pons did to protect the rim, as much as they did to protect the rim, they still just did not lack the ability to really go in there and move bodies around and rebound. And that's something E.J. Anosike can do. He can he can protect the rim, but he can also be a body in the paint at the rim. And that's what we missed. And I think that can take this team to another level too, if that's what he is. And that's what I expect to see out of E.J. Anosike.
Yeah, he's a bull, and like you said, that's what we were missing, because we'd had that with Grant and Admiral for years, and then when they were gone, it was just a void on that team. You saw it last year, so yeah, I'm excited for him as well. I think he's probably the most needed.
Right.
I think we need better guards, but at least we have some guards. We needed a post player.
Right. I'm excited for E.J. Anosike. I hope he is that guy. I really hope so. I think it's going to help this team a lot. You got anything else for basketball? Any other basketball news?
Dude, I'm excited for basketball season. I'm probably not as much as I am football season, but like winning wise, like I feel like we have a lot better chance to. I think we'll be a better basketball team than we will a football team.
So obviously football, you're excited not just for the team, but you're excited because of the tailgating, just the Saturdays of football. So what season are you more excited for, basketball or football? Like just talking about the teams.
I'm more excited probably about basketball, but I'm more prepared. Or not prepared. I'm not prepared for football season ever.
That heartbreak.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm anxious. I'm more anxious for football season because I just like there's a lot of question marks. But basketball, I feel like we have the talent. We have the talent coming back. And we didn't really lose Bowden, but you add 2 5-star guards that I feel like could produce just as much as Bowden did.
Right. Yeah, no, I think they probably should produce as much as.
Especially if Pons comes back. If Pons comes back, that's going to be a damn good basketball team.
Oh, yeah. And you talked about producing as much as Bowden did. That's really not – that's probably low expectation. Nothing against Bowden. It just was
defensively.
Okay, defensively, yeah. But it just was not his year, his senior year. And it's unfortunate. I mean, he was a important role on his junior year, a very important role. It was unfortunate that he couldn't find a shot his senior year.
Yeah, he just like the whole like be the guy just like isn't his forte.
No.
And he excels when you have guys that are able to take those tough shots. But he just for whatever reason just could not be the guy this season. And maybe if it was different circumstances, maybe if Lamonte is a lot better, maybe he elevates his game. But it just, like you said, wasn't his year.
Right. It's unfortunate. Yep. Let's talk some Vol football. I know there's nothing going on, but we're going to flash it back a little bit to this entire decade. We're doing a lot
of flashbacks.
I know. Well, it's all you can do right now.
Right. Yeah. I guess so. We're doing the Channel TN. It's just, highlights of previous years.
Exactly. We're doing an all-decade team. This tonight we're going to just do the offense. I didn't tell you, and it shouldn't be a hard one, but let's throw in place kicker there too. Let's do a little special teams.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it should be hard. I think we know who it's going to be. But we'll throw in place kicker. We're going to do offense. That's we're going to go through 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, an entire offensive line, and then a place kicker. Quarterback, let's start there. And I think this one's kind of interesting. I think I know who you're going to pick, but I was like, maybe he'll go hot take. But not even really a hot take, a lukewarm take, and throw somebody else in there.
I'm going to go Tyler Bray.
Are you?
I am.
That was the interesting one.
Go Tyler Bray.
That was the interesting one. I don't fault you at all. I just but when you just look at his sheer production alone, it's very impressive. If he's on a better defense, I think you assume that those teams are a lot better.
Yeah, and I look at the offensive line. If I'm picking who has the better offensive line, I think Tyler Bray he's got to be the guy. If he has a good offensive line, Tyler
Bray's offensive line was really good.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And most of these, most of the guys like he played with are on my offensive line.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then receivers as well. So I just thought it made sense. I wanted to pick Josh Dobbs, but I think just as a quarterback, it's got to be Tyler Bray.
So I kind of went opposite. I went Josh Dobbs. I went.
Okay.
You look at his production both in the run game and pass game. What he was able to do to create plays out of thin air is incredible. And he did have a lot of talent, similar to Tyler Bray, but he did not have the talent at offensive line. He did not have a ton of protection,
No.
and he was a winner where Tyler Bray was not a winner. I thought Tyler Bray could go and produce, no doubt in my mind, but he was not a winner. He couldn't just flat out win. Josh Dobbs flat out won. You look at some of the games over his career that were losses. South Carolina in 14 is this first one that pops into my head, that he pulled that one out of thin air. Georgia in 15. Georgia in 16. The dude was just a winner. And his stats back it up, too. He had some all-SEC honors. Again, I don't think there's a right or wrong when you're talking Tyler Bray or Josh Dobbs, but it's definitely interesting. Yeah, I went Josh Dobbs.
Ambassador for Tennessee. If you go like on and off the field, it probably is Josh Dobbs because I feel like he still does a lot for Tennessee.
He wasn't throwing Jack Daniels bottles off balconies, so
no, he's not doing that. But Jim Chaney offense, I want the gunslinger. So I figured you'd go with Josh Dobbs, so that's kind of why I went away from that.
I also just want him to unblock me on Twitter, so I'm trying to get his good graces.
Yeah, see, I'm still blocked, so I
am too.
I had to go with Tyler Bray.
We need to get him on because I want to apologize. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything bad, but I want to apologize. Running backs.
Yeah, I went with recent guys. I just feel like our running backs have been insane the last, definitely in this decade, but you look at the last like 5 years,
right.
Our running backs were solid. So I'm going to go Alvin Kamara, number one.
So I'll go with my number one, and people are going to hate me for it. I think I don't know where people stand on this guy anymore. Jalen Hurd, and as much as his attitude was terrible, for most of the time he's on campus, I think a lot of people will credit some of that to Butch Jones. But the dude would have been one of the best running backs in Tennessee history had he stayed his junior season.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of great running backs in Tennessee history. Like he's got.
Yeah, I feel like he's got. He would have crushed the rushing record at Tennessee.
Yeah. So I went. Jalen
I didn't go Jalen Hurd just because he didn't finish at Tennessee.
All right, John Adams.
Whoa, that's tough.
Hold on. Do you know he said that Jalen Hurd couldn't be a VFL? And he went and listed all these requirements to be in a VFL. And like some of them were like character and, what you did after. And then one of the requirements was you had to finish your time at Tennessee. But who's the dude that has like 10 kids and a bunch of cocaine charges?
Travis Henry.
Travis Henry's like fall for life. It's like, what?
Character?
I know.
The first one was character.
I know, that's what my point was. And then also, could you not make the argument that leaving after your junior year is leaving early? Like to John Adams. I know what you're saying. I'm just being the devil's advocate.
Well, I didn't do a Jalen Hurd through the years. So at least I didn't do that yet. But I went Alvin Kamara and I went John Kelly. I feel like John Kelly, he could have been a Heisman candidate, but behind a better offensive line. That offensive line was terrible.
On a better team in general. He put up some production.
He was everything we had on offense.
Yeah, he put up some production on a awful team. The worst team in Tennessee history.
Yeah, it was trash. Absolute trash. And basically, like, we should have beat Florida.
Yeah.
And it was all because of him.
Yeah, you're right. I went Alvin Kamara as my second one, it makes me sick how a lot of the guys that I picked were on that 2016 team that won the Music City Bowl. Woo!
Oh, man. After that Georgia game, dude, we were going to win the Natty.
I was
We were
convinced
in
of
it.
it. I was convinced of it.
I mean, we went to what games did we not go to?
I went to every home game that year.
Yeah,
The
and we
only
went
game
to Battle of Bristol.
went to Battle at Bristol. I went to A&M. I feel like I went to another
We went
away game.
to the Music City Bowl too.
I was supposed to go to Georgia. And I didn't go last minute. Yeah.
God, that's
Originally, I was like, so glad I didn't spend money on that. Like I'm leaving the house. Like, F this team, F this. I knew I shouldn't have gone. And then,
sight.
I know they got me. Josh Dobbs got
me.
me.
I don't know what it was.
Me.
I just knew I had to just keep watching that game.
Oh, I watched the last play. Like I left so angry, and then walked back in. Was like, I have to finish the game. Like I have to.
Yeah. I mean, there's something in Tennessee fans that they just know, like, it's never over until, like, they're off the field over.
I stayed for the entirety of the Georgia State game.
Yeah, that's – let's not bring that up.
The only game I can remember leaving early in recent history was 2014 South Carolina, and then which we won, and then which that was extreme circumstances, and then the homecoming game a couple years ago where we were just not in good health. And then it was the most boring game ever. Who was that against? Western Carolina? I sat with you the whole game, and we left early.
Was it? It wasn't the UMass game.
No. It was a homecoming game.
Was it Indiana State?
Homecoming. It was. I can't remember.
Oh, it was later on in the year.
It was 18. It was 17 or 18. I think it was 18. It was 18. I don't remember.
I don't either. But
it was a homecoming game, and we were not in good health. We had been tailgating all day, and I think we'd eaten some chili, and it was a rough one.
Chili got us, man.
I think we went to Cool Beans after though, so we didn't. It's not like we went home, which was it is what it is. My first wide receiver is the obvious pick. It's not just what he did at receiver; it's what he did.
Was it Charlotte?
Teammate. Charlotte, that was it.
It was 14-3 was the final.
Yeah, it was a terrible game. My first wide receiver is an obvious one. The dog, man. I got to go with Juwan Jennings. That's an easy pick, I feel like.
Yeah, I went with Juwan Jennings too. He's like you mentioned with Josh Dobbs, he's a winner. Dude is an absolute gamer, and will give you 100% effort 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah, 100%. My second one, kind of a hot take. We all remember that one year that he was great. And the year before, he was pretty good, too. Derek Rogers, man. What could have been had he just stayed off the weed?
You're going like an all-convict team.
Exactly. If my guys haven't been arrested at least once, don't even bring them on campus.
Exactly, yeah. You got to get those Jansen Jackson and all those guys. My next one, I have Tyler Bray's receivers. I have Cordell Patterson and Justin Hunter.
I mean, hard to disagree.
I wanted to put Josh Malone. I really did.
I did too. He's my last one out.
Yeah, he would be my fourth as well.
Yeah, he's my fourth. My third is a guy similar to Cordell Patterson in terms of he didn't just produce at wide receiver, but also as a returner. That's Marquez Callaway, man.
Hey,
cannot doubt him.
So who was your three?
Juwan, Derek, and Marquez. A lot of speed.
Oh, so you didn't have Justin Hunter or Patterson?
No. I love Cordell Patterson.
That is the hottest of hot takes.
That's not that hot of a take.
To not have all three of those or both of those guys?
I think Juwan Jennings, Marquez Callaway. I mean, so Justin Hunter, his entire senior year is pretty much injured.
Yeah.
As he tore his ACL. Right?
Well, he left early, didn't he?
2012, his junior year. 2012, his last year.
Oh, okay.
He tore his ACL against Florida, right? Or was that his junior year, his sophomore year?
Maybe it was his sophomore year.
I don't know. Derek Rogers had over 1,000 yards his last year on campus.
Was he our last 1,000-yard receiver?
Yeah, I think so. No, maybe. Here's a hot take, and the only reason I probably left him, Denarius Moore had 1,000 yards too, I think, in 2009.
He had 900 and something.
2010. He had 900.
Yeah. So Juwan, Malone, and Denarius Moore all had like 900 yards.
Okay.
900 and something.
I think Marquez Callaway has the most receiving yards of career in the decade, I think.
Oh wow,
I think that's right.
that's insane. I didn't know that.
I mean, because he stayed all 4 years,
Because
and
I thought Juwan would have to be up there too, right?
I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was out. Maybe it was between all those guys because I was trying to decide Justin Hunter, Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson only had like 700 or 800. He did not have a lot. He had a ton of all-purpose yards though.
Yeah,
He had a ton of
he was
all-purpose yards.
he was a freak,
But he didn't have a ton of receiving yards. I mean, he's definitely going to be my punt returner.
Oh yeah.
Also, Derek Rogers. This isn't at Tennessee. He had a top 10 play as a returner for Tennessee Tech the next year against Oregon.
Yeah, the Eagles, baby. Are they the Flying Eagles?
Golden Eagles, I think.
Golden Eagles. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, dude. Derek Rogers was a freak. He was a dick, but he was a freak.
I'm wearing number 21 too.
Yeah, exactly. Tight end. Who do you got at tight end?
I got Michael Rivera.
I do too. Going with Braves guy. It was between him and Ethan Wolf for me.
Because I think he passed Jason Witten in all-time career yards as a tight end.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty impressive. I didn't realize he had that many yards.
Or maybe it was had the most since Jason Witten.
Gotcha. That would make a ton of sense.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, maybe I read that.
I mean, there's still who was between him and Jason Witten? Stalker. Who else? I'm trying to remember.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
It's tough to remember tight ends.
Then we haven't used a tight end since. I mean, Ethan Wolf was barely a tight end. He's pretty much an H-back.
Yeah. He'd probably be the next one on my list.
I hate Butch Jones. Yeah, no, he's definitely. I mean, he's got to be. Which he had 16. He produced quite a bit. I think he had like 500 yards, close to 500 yards. And then at offensive tackles, who are your offensive tackles?
So I have Juwan James and Tiny Richardson.
Okay, so I put Trey Smith at offensive tackle.
Okay,
because I threw some guards in there, like you mentioned from that last Cheney offensive line. So I've got Trey Smith and Juwan James.
Okay, and then guards, who you got?
I've got Zach Fulton and Dallas Thomas. Dude, I was looking.
See, I have Zach. Go ahead.
I was looking at their accolades. Both of those guys had some I did not remember had some impressive accolades that I did not remember. All SEC several times. I think Zach Fulton was All SEC 2 years in a row. Dallas Thomas was, I think, his senior year.
And Zach Fulton's still making a ton of money for the Texans, and he went undrafted. I think Dallas Thomas went in the third round, but both those two guys are my. Actually, I have Dallas Thomas playing center just because if you play guard, you can play center.
I probably should have done that to keep Tiny Richardson in it, but yeah, it's whatever.
So I have Dallas Thomas, Trey Smith, and then Zach Fulton.
Okay. And then I went James Stone at center. I went with a true center.
Gotcha. Because, I mean, James Stone would probably be the only one. Coleman Thomas, it wouldn't be him.
James Stone by a long shot for me.
Yeah. I was thinking Brandon Kennedy could probably throw his name in there.
Brandon Kennedy has been injured for half his time at Tennessee, and I was thinking he might be the all-decade center at Tennessee. Because we had an effing walk-on from Volunteer High School as I don't know where Coleman Thomas is from, but
somewhere like that.
Yeah, I'm just like, God bless, dude. Our offensive line was so depleted there for a while. It's depressing.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's depressing. I mean, I guess it's good that we had a good offensive line for some amount of time, but who's your place kicker? Just to be sure, I gotta make you say it.
C-Mag.
C-Mag to the stars, and he's gonna play in the next decade, so he can be the next all-decade kicker.
Yeah, I was wondering how you were wanting to do that. I was like, some of these guys, like, they graduated in 2010.
Right. I don't think anybody on my list graduated.
So James Stone was like, he started in 2008, and I think he went through 2011.
Yeah, I think he played 2 years in this decade.
Yeah.
Also, people argue. I don't know how you do your decades. While we're talking about it, I guess. Would you do 2010 to 2019 or 2011 to 2020? What's your decade? What is a decade to you? Have you even thought about this?
I was kind of going 10 to 20. Honestly. So I guess through 2019.
Okay, yeah, through the end of 2019. So like the 2020 season for me will start a new decade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're on the same page. A lot of people argue, and I don't even know. I feel like Tom's so weird, but whatever. I'm glad we're on the same page there then.
Yep. Baseball's back.
Baseball's back. I love it. I'm just
it's about freaking time.
I'm sick of hearing everybody just whine about it, honestly.
Yep.
That's the bottom line. So spring training is going to start July 1st. Here's my question. Should we just back up everything like 6 months and just start like it's March?
Start it fresh?
Yeah, just act like it's March. And
those TV deals, man, that they wouldn't agree to it.
I feel like we could decide as a society that it is March 12th and just start over right now. Couldn't we?
We could.
I say do it. Just decide.
So everything. Like football season, no nothing.
Well, football season in 8 months. Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
I don't hate it.
I need sports though. I'm going nuts.
You're gonna get sports though. You're gonna get baseball, basketball, because it's March. Everything's gonna start back up.
Yeah, in March. What about now?
No.
That's really that's like a full calendar year of no sports.
We're gonna start July 1st like it's March 1st, and everything's gonna just act like it's March 1st, 2020. We're changing time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're not moving everything back to 2021. Okay.
No, we get everything back immediately. But so that's a big complaint is it's not going to be a full baseball season. And which I'm annoyed by the argument because they're like baseball's a marathon. It's about who can survive the longest. I'm like, you can't play one season differently. One.
Yeah, and it's not like they play 10 games. They're doing 60 games. Like that's still a lot of games.
And I think it could be fun to like find out. Here's my thing. I feel like a lesser team isn't going to win it because of less games.
Right.
It's still going to be the teams with the higher payroll and the better bullpen and all that crap. It's not going to – a bad team isn't going to win it. So I don't understand the argument. Yeah, it's going to be a different team. But it's not going to be a bad team.
Yeah, would you rather just not have it? That goes back to like everything. People that are just like, if I'm not in the stands, I don't want to watch it.
Right.
Okay, well that's stupid, but
right. And then
so let me read some of the baseball things. So they report back, like you said, the spring training July 1st. I don't think it actually starts till July 3rd. Opening day will be the 23rd or 24th. Mm-hmm. And then they'll do 60 games in 66 days. So that'll go through September 27th.
How do you like the universal DH? I love it.
Yeah, I think that should have been – they should have done that long ago.
Right.
No one – like anytime a pitcher's up, it's just like, good God, it's another
What's the point? Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah, so they'll do the 10-team playoffs like they've already done. And players will be tested every other day.
Wow.
And then they'll get full prorated salary, which would be 37%, which is the percentage of games they'll actually play.
I don't understand the argument about that. You're getting paid for what you play, for what you do.
Yeah.
What's the argument?
Well, there was a difference in like if there was a high risk player and he wasn't able to play, like what he would get.
Yeah, I think
so. If you're a high risk player, you can opt out not to play and still get 37% of your salary.
That's fair. If you're if you're high risk, I think. Now the guys that opt out just because they don't want to, because they're risking their lives, like Andrew Ray, they should get 37%.
Yeah.
Give them unemployment. What's that? $600 a week?
Yeah, that's not bad. A little stimulus money.
Right.
And then, like you said, the National League will use a DH. Extra innings, they'll start with a guy on second. So that's going to be
What's
weird.
The point? Like, I
guess they're just trying to hurry the games up.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. I guess that's baseball's version of penalty kicks.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll have 60 guys invited to spring training.
I'm saying back it up. No confusion. Back it up.
Back it up, sir. Yeah, it's gonna be weird, but dude, I'm just excited to have something.
I'm gonna watch baseball. That's the thing, though. Baseball should have come back earlier. I'm going to watch it now. I wasn't
I
going.
want
I wouldn't have.
right. I went to breakfast this morning, and me and my dad were watching the Korean baseball
Oh wow, they were
today.
still on.
Yeah, it was like 8 o'clock. But yeah,
Oh okay. No, 8 in the morning though. Here, right? Is that what you mean?
yeah, yeah.
So what time is that there? I don't know how far ahead they are.
Oh, I have
No
no
clue.
clue.
It feels like that would be. I feel like that would be a late game. Is it? Wouldn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, it was dark there.
I don't know. I'll look that up later. What do you think about the Nashville thing with like a minor league?
That'd be cool. I
But
would.
it's 40 games or 40 players, just 2 teams. How weird is that?
Oh, that'd be weird.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how you do it, but essentially what they're using it as is like a farm system for the league. So they're going to keep players fresh, and then if they need a player, they'll pull them from the Nashville league. But
Oh.
while they're doing that, these 2 teams, these 40 players, will just play every day, or not every day.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. So they'll have 60 players, and then they'll kind of get it down to I think 30, and then at one point it's like 28. So
well,
they have like
that's at the MLB. This is
okay,
separate
so
from the
that's
MLB.
different.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
separate.
okay.
This is just organized by, I guess, the Sounds. I don't know, or the minor leagues. I don't know who's organizing it, but
Gotcha.
they're going to invite 40 players and divide them up into 2 teams and play games. And apparently, if I read this correctly, the MLB teams will essentially use it if players get injured or a player can't play. They'll pull someone from that. That's how I understand it. Yeah. Could you
That'd be
imagine just
interesting.
the 2 teams playing every day though? That's going to be
Yeah,
terribly
every day
boring.
that'd be so boring.
I feel like it would be more fun to just draft new teams each day, or draw them out of the hat. I feel like you could do that in baseball.
I feel like at that point you just get so tired. Like there'd be a lot of like fights.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
Just tired of seeing the same people. Like
you
because
don't know.
that's rivalries happen because you play this like you played that team multiple times.
Right.
I can't imagine playing them every single day.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, maybe they'll end up like the Ice Bears. They'll just have like people go to the games just to see fights.
Are the Astros players still in danger, or has everybody forgotten about it? Is this
No,
all?
I haven't forgot. I hope they get drilled.
Is this
every
all?
single one of them.
Was this all a conspiracy theory to try to get the Astros out of getting hit at the plate?
I did see where they like have 11-1 odds to win the World Series.
Are we calling it the World Series?
Yeah,
If the Yankees win,
the COVID series,
it's only the World Series if the Yankees win.
100%. Yeah.
Hey, I got something for you. Do you want to do some trivia? I wrote some trivia. They're kind of easy. Okay. I knew we'd have like a little bit less content today, and I've been watching a lot of Jeopardy, and then Barstool does a trivia that I've been watching. That's kind of been fun. So I got some inspiration. So I wrote you 3 trivia questions, and I'm gonna try to write you 3 once a week. Probably not each show, but once a week, and they'll be SEC or Tennessee. Not necessarily. They may involve football or basketball, but they may just be random. They may be geography questions. I don't know. We'll see. History questions. We'll see. So I've got 3 for you. First one's football. 5 quarterbacks occupy the top 10 most passing yards in a season. Can you name all 5? So there's 10 spots, and only 5 occupy those spots. Can you name those 5?
Oh my gosh! Name 5 in the top 10.
So of the top 10, there's only 5 people that hold those spots because they have multiple. It's season.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's per season. Only 5
So Drew
quarterbacks are in it.
Brees.
No. Tennessee quarterbacks.
Oh, Tennessee.
Tennessee. This is a Tennessee question.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Heath Schuler.
Mm-mm.
Casey Clausen.
Casey Clausen's one.
Is T. Martin one?
Mm-mm.
Oh wow. Is Tyler Bray one?
Tyler Bray's one.
Eric Ainge.
Eric Ainge is one. One more.
Is it Dobbs?
Josh Dobbs. Yep. I think he has 2 seasons in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I should have wrote down how many they hold in the top 10, but it's Peyton Manning, Josh Dobbs, Tyler Bray, Eric Ainge, and Casey Clausen. And then number 11. Number 11's kind of random. I think you're high on him. See if you can guess number 11. It's another guy.
I'm high on him?
I think I've heard you talk about him. Like you're like, yeah, my dad loved this quarterback or something like that. It's kind of random. It's Andy Kelly.
Andy Kelly, okay.
Does your dad like him? I feel like I've heard that. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's someone else. I don't know.
Dad, you like Andy Kelly? Yeah, he said he did.
All right, this one's kind of hard. I made a really difficult one, but I think it's a fun question. Allen Houston holds the record for most points scored in a season for Tennessee basketball in 1990 and 1991. Do you know can you guess who's second?
In 1991?
No. Just overall.
Oh, is it Ernie?
This one's tough. I would have never gotten this one. Just a heads up. It's Dale Ellis.
Dale Ellis, okay.
82 and 83. It was Ernie Grunfeld and Bernard King were not in the top 5 of most points scored in a season. Now, what's crazy is Bernard King held the record for most points in her career. So it's pretty wild.
Oh, dope.
So if you get that question, now you know it.
Now you know.
All right, last one. Little mixing in a little SEC, little geography too. These SEC cities, put them in order by population. These SEC cities, okay?
Okay.
Texas A&M, Arkansas, Kentucky, LSU, and Mississippi State. So, do you know all those cities? Do you know which ones they are?
Yeah, Starkville, okay. Baton Rouge, Lexington, College Station, Fayetteville.
Yeah. Okay, so put those in order.
Oh my gosh! Is Lexington one?
Lexington's one. Yeah.
Okay. Starkville 2?
No.
Fayetteville 2?
No.
Baton Rouge?
Baton Rouge is number 2.
3 would be Starkville.
No.
Fayetteville.
No. I know. I was
College Station's?
College Station's number 3. Not necessarily
that one.
Not necessarily number 3 on the list, but number 3 of these 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Fayetteville?
Then Fayetteville. And then
Starkville.
Starkville and Oxford are I think the last 2, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oxford, their stadium holds more than their city's population. It's pretty crazy. I think almost double.
I would have never guessed College Station to be.
They're just below Knoxville, I think, which is surprising.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been to College Station. It looks pretty empty.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you some more. I like that. A little trivia.
Yeah, that's cool.
When we don't have any. Also, we need to figure out a way to get the listeners involved. I don't know how to do that, but we need to figure out like a texting or something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I'll let you work.
Give away something, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we can get Hound Dogs involved.
Yeah.
Some more giveaways going. You got any questions for anybody?
I don't.
Don't think we have any. Let me check. Chris Wilson did say his 3 wide receivers are Josh Malone, Juwan Jennings, and Justin Hunter.
Yeah.
I got a little mix. I don't know if that's in order, but he has Josh Malone listed as first.
I mean, I wouldn't argue with that 3.
Yeah. He also said he stayed the entire Georgia State game. Yeah, that one's depressing.
Yeah, that's depressing.
I forgot to. I don't know if I went in order, but I forgot to talk about NASCAR. What a mess.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'll say this. I know we don't need to spend, I guess, a long time on it. But I think this. I guess the best case scenario happened because it wasn't real, apparently. Or at least it wasn't a hate crime.
So that's my question. That's my biggest question about it. Has someone done that? I don't know. I don't know how to, because I know a lot of people disagree. I know that I have seen people intentionally target. I've seen someone personally intentionally target a black person by tying a noose. And everyone around me knew what it meant. So I guess I'm saying, was it tied like a noose? That's my question. I don't know if that's been confirmed.
Yeah. I mean, it was a not.
Obviously, it wasn't targeted at Bubba Wallace, which is a good thing.
Right.
That's a good, like you said, best case scenario.
Yeah, it didn't happen, and NASCAR was unified. They backed Bubba, so I think that was cool to see. I think it's a step forward without taking a step back for NASCAR.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he just did this he just doesn't seem like the guy that would just do this to do it.
Right. And I would imagine he has to regret going on whatever show he went on Tuesday morning and pretty much said, if you believe this is a hoax, like, you're simple-minded. I would imagine he regrets saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem. I haven't listened enough to what he said, other than I read the transcript of that interview on Tuesday, and that's obviously, I think he would regret saying that. But it seems like now he's just like glad it didn't happen. Like pretty much what you said, it's best case scenario that it didn't happen, and then he was happy to see that NASCAR was unified by it. That they stand by each other, because those dudes hate each other on race days.
Oh yeah,
right. Which now, God bless, people are morons. The videos resurfacing of Bubba Wallace throwing that water in that dude's face after a race. He gets wrecked at the end of the race and throws water in it. And then I think it's Brad Keselowski. They're doing you're like announcing your name. He walks up on stage and he's like, "My name is Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Busch is a bitch," and just walks off stage.
Yeah, they fight. They're the most fights besides hockey is NASCAR.
They hate each other. So it's cool to see them unified, and that they, their hate, I guess, only. You're
sitting in a hot, sweaty car for hours, so somebody makes you mad. By the time you're ready to get out of the car, it's on.
Yeah, imagine sitting. Yeah, imagine it's like being in traffic on the interstate, and a dude looks at you wrong. You're gonna get out of the car and punch him. Some people would. Not everybody, but some people would.
Yeah, some people close to us would do that.
But yeah, no, like you said, it was the best case scenario. I don't understand I don't understand that people are calling it a hoax, because it wasn't like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's more of a misunderstanding than a hoax.
Right. And should NASCAR probably, if it is that pull down cord, should they probably investigated it more before getting the FBI involved? Yeah, probably.
Yep.
But that doesn't fall on Bubba Wallace. That falls on NASCAR.
Right.
So, whatever. I'll be honest.
Jumbotron.
I'll be honest. I just don't care about NASCAR enough to.
Yeah, I found myself watching the other night.
Did you? Did you fall asleep?
And I used to watch it when I was little, and I had all the cars, and I could name the driver for each car. But yeah, it's just the point system. It was just like, if you won, you won. Like back then, and they might have had a point system. I just didn't know. I was just like, you win, you win. You win money if you yeah. So.
All right. Jumbotron. Beach games. Landon's at the beach. Have you played any beach games, or are you like? I know you got your family there. That probably makes it.
I'm a big I'm a big ball guy. So I always have a ball with me. So I've been throwing the ball. Throwing football. We have a ball. It's like a Nerf kind of thing, and it bounces on the waves.
Oh yeah. Are you? Is your dad a bocce ball guy? Do you guys play bocce ball?
He's not. He's not a no.
Okay. What about you guys take the cornhole boards down there? I feel like that's a beach game for some people.
Yeah, we did not.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't fit them in my car, and my parents was filled to the absolute brim. So if they wanted to buy if they wanted to take a seashell, they'd have to nail it down on top of their car.
Oh, nice. That's good.
There was literally no. You couldn't fit a piece of gum in their car.
What's your first?
They're hearing me right now talking about them, so they're.
Are they getting upset?
No, they know. They know exactly.
So what's your first beach game though? You got a favorite beach game?
Dude, mine's got to be volleyball. I'm a big beach volleyball guy.
That's my first one too. I actually have scars to prove how much I love volleyball. We went. So for those of you that don't know, we went on a cruise. What's that? 3 years ago now.
Before
2 years ago. Yeah. And we went to Nassau, and dude, first off, Nassau is a shithole. Like, the fact that a cruise stops there is absurd to me.
Yeah, it's gross.
If I probably won't plan the next cruise. I'll probably just, be along for the ride. But if I ever plan a cruise, I can assure you I'm not going to plan one that has a stop in Nassau. Like, I'll be like, nah, I'm good. It's terrible. But we found a beach with a volleyball net, and we played for approximately 6 hours. We played for a long time. So,
yep.
I had a great time. I don't regret. Yeah, the bar had a $10 deal. First off, okay, I should say this. This is the best part. I will go back to Nassau. I'll take that back. They had a bar that had 2 beers and 2 shots for $10.
You can't find that anywhere.
You probably shouldn't be legally allowed to find that anywhere, but it was awesome.
No. Yeah, it was great. And then they did a what did they do? They did
that car. Are you talking about the conga line thing where they pour the
shot
the
conga line, and they just poured a shot in everybody's mouth. Yeah,
do you remember the name of that beach?
No clue.
Junko Beach was what it was named.
Junko Beach.
Junko Beach.
I mean, now that I think, like, it was pretty Junko.
Oh yeah, I mean, there were rocks in the volleyball court. Still a great time.
I know we passed a McDonald's, and I was like, man, that's a 2-story McDonald's. I went into it just to go into it. Disgusting. And McDonald's, most McDonald's are disgusting. This one would top them all.
Yeah, I can imagine. I didn't go in that. I might have gone in that. I just don't remember it. But yeah, that's Nassau. You gotta love it. I'm never going back. So number 1 for me is volleyball. I'll go number 2 real quick. That's bocce ball. It's a great beach game. Bocce ball's the best.
Yeah. I like playing in the yard. It's a good yard game too.
Yeah, it is a good yard game. You're right.
Mine. I like playing football on the beach.
I knew you'd choose football. You bastard. You're a football
guy. Did you choose it too?
No, I didn't.
Big football guy.
I went with tailgate, I guess, games. You can't really play bocce ball. You could play bocce ball at a tailgate, I guess. But yeah, I went away from besides volleyball too at a tailgate. I'm an idiot. Never mind. I went with just classic beach games.
We're gonna put up a volleyball net at our next tailgate.
I would actually love that. If social distancing gives me enough room for a volleyball court, I'm in every year. Sign me up. Absolutely.
On the concrete, it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I will still be digging for balls. Would that
yeah, we'll have to get a first aid kit and maybe some licenses to do stitches or whatever.
Maybe
maybe we'll just do our own stitches.
If we know someone with a dump truck, we could just bring sand in.
Oh, that'd be fun. It'd be terrible cleaning it up, but it'd be fun then. Because sand gets everywhere.
We're the ones who got to clean it up.
Yeah.
My last one is I don't know if you've ever played this game because we've never played it at tailgate, but we're going to this year. That's Can Jam.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. Yeah, I've played it before.
Yeah, we're playing.
We played it at Katie's pool one time.
Probably. We're gonna be playing it this year.
I'm pumped.
Last one.
My last one is.
I love that you're looking out to the beach for inspiration.
Yeah, I'm trying to find somebody doing something cool, but they're not.
Drawing a penis in the sand or something.
Right. I like the game, and I don't know what it's called, but it's fun when I play it. It's the game where it's a string. It's got 2 balls at the end.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Ball
and
string
there's
game. I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, ball.
I do know what you're talking
about. Them. Yeah, I don't remember.
So I guess it's similar to, it's like a version of Can Jam cornhole.
Ladder ball.
Thank you. There you go.
Crowd.
I don't like. You got a live audience.
Thank you, Peanut Gallery.
Is that a live studio audience? Yeah.
Practicing.
Oh, okay. And so that game's fun. It's similar to cornhole or Can Jam, I guess, where it's a point system. You got to land it. Ladder ball's fun. I like clacking them together. Is my favorite part.
Yeah, it reminds me of. Have you seen Kangaroo Jack?
I don't think so. That doesn't ring a bell. Should I have seen Kangaroo Jack?
Yeah, you've seen Kangaroo Jack.
I may have then. I don't
know. Well, they have these he's like, I am Bolo Man, and it's got these 2 big balls and a string, and I thought that's what it came from. They have nothing to do with each other. Apparently, it's an Australian thing, but yeah.
Ladder ball or Kangaroo Jack?
The things that he has to try to catch the kangaroo.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It doesn't work, by the way. But, yeah.
You tried it?
No, like he tried it. It doesn't work on a kangaroo.
Okay, I need to see this movie. I have no idea.
Yeah,
what
you
you're
got to see
talking about. Stupidity. Will you? Okay. Have you ever played badminton on the beach? You don't seem like a badminton type of person.
I haven't played it on the beach. I think we played it at my grandmother's when I was little.
Badminton's fun.
Yeah, I'm a
big badminton guy. I wish I was better at it, but it is what it is.
Can't be good at everything.
Right. If I have to sacrifice anything, it'll be badminton.
Right. I only have one stupidity.
I think I only have one too. I mean, I could probably find some for you if you want me to.
And it's a USA Today writer. I think he was mine last time too.
Is he going to get the award renamed?
Bob Nightingale.
Is that a real name?
He was tweeting about the baseball stuff last night going on. So he was like, Rob Manfred now expected to implement season. And then he says MLB Commissioner Rob has no plans to implement a season tonight or even tomorrow. Then he tweets, there will definitely be a 60-game season. And then this was in 2 hours. Then an hour he tweeted the second one, 11 minutes, and then 9 minutes. Within 9 minutes of each other, he was like, MLB has decided to play a 60-game season if the union agrees to have their players report by July 1st and they agree on the safety and health protocols in their operating manual. So, like, he was literally, like, trying to be the first one to tweet all this, and he was just wrong every single time.
Right. No one knows what's going on.
Right. To take that Bob Nightingale. That's a made-up name.
That's got to be a made-up name.
It's not even real.
It's someone's pseudonym, right?
Yeah, that's like it's like a me character or something.
Dude, I'm sorry. Is that we?
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Me character. Yeah, aren't they called me's or
I think so. I just want to make sure before I told you the story. Yeah. So I got caught up on Twitch watching a guy play Wii baseball the other night for probably longer than I am proud to say I did.
Okay, so was he better at that game than
No,
Big Cat?
He was terrible.
Okay.
In fairness, Wii baseball is BS. But yeah, he was terrible.
It's hard. I think I actually threw my arm out playing Wii baseball before. Like
pitching or hitting?
Pitching.
Dang. Just throwing gas?
Straight gas. Like I didn't understand. Like I was really trying to pitch. Like I wasn't just like the.
Yeah, not just flicking the wrist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Like, well, to this day, I would still play like I was playing real baseball. Just like in tennis, when I serve, I like I'm going full motion. I don't cheat anything.
Yeah.
Don't cheat it. My first one is, I don't know, I guess it's on the NFL if this is true, but Pro Football Talk, they tweeted that potentially the players next season could be wearing headsets, like all the players on the field, to communicate with the coaches, which would avoid huddling and avoid interactions. You are playing a sport where you tackle someone and lay in piles. Why not just huddle up? What would it do to not huddle up at that point?
And also, like, no huddling is already a thing. So
it's already a thing.
Why would they all need that when one player could just call the play?
Well, so Tyrann Mathieu tweeted, and I guess we can talk about this real quick. He tweeted back and said, if you put a headset in my helmet, I guarantee you I'll make every play. Which the headsets have to cut off at a certain period. Like, they're not on during the snap or right up to the snap. So I don't know what do you think he would gain, or any player would gain from a headset wearing a headset?
I don't know.
I mean, because you wouldn't get any true pre-snap reads.
He would get it as it was happening, but he would have to react.
Well, I think his point is that if a coach was able to tell him who is moving where, yeah, I don't think
there's no way.
I don't think he understands how the headsets work.
Yeah, they don't tell you before it happens.
Like the quarterbacks has to be turned off like a certain amount of time before the snap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that time is.
Yeah, I don't either. That's dumb.
And then I do know the XFL had headsets in more players' helmets. They wasn't all 11, but it was more. So, yeah, I don't like you said. I don't know what. I'm not doubting Tyrann Matthews, a great football player. I just don't think he understands how the helmets work.
Yeah,
The headsets.
Yeah, that's a fail on his part. That's not true.
Yeah, Tyrann Matthew. Whatever.
It's because he only went 3 years at LSU, not 4.
Did he even make it 3?
Probably not.
I think he got kicked out his sophomore year. No.
Oh yeah, because
before his junior year, I think he played his entire sophomore year because it wasn't that his Heisman campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder what his stats looked like. His Heisman campaign.
Do you have any more stupidities?
I don't have any more stupidities. I do want to talk about. What do you think about that video I tagged you in of Reggie Bush?
What did it say again? I remember
just pretty much how he tells every young football player when he says when they ask me how do you get so fast, run track.
Oh yeah, you got to run track.
Run track. You ain't gonna do
it. It puts you so far ahead.
You aren't gonna get faster in the weight room.
Because Ryan, especially like going from high school to college, like you just have so much on players that don't run track. Right. Because you're conditioned like that, and you start conditioning, and that's the toughest transition is doing that. So if you're already conditioned, you're already worlds ahead of somebody who didn't.
Right. It's funny to me the guys who think they can. We talk about it, bigger, faster, stronger. A lot of people leave out the faster.
Yeah,
I think bigger, stronger is enough.
If you're a lineman, like run track, you don't have to compete. Run track.
No, I mean go throw. It helps your footwork.
Yeah, do something.
And
got to do it. I think the weight room, especially in high school football, but I feel like it gets repetitive.
Yeah, and here's the thing too about track. Track isn't a thing you have to do. You can't do it 5 to 7 days a week. You've got time to hit the weight room during track season. You've got plenty of time. It's not a all week thing like football is. It's not possible. You would kill your body. You can't run. You can only run so many 200s a week.
Yep. I mean, that's for Reggie Bush. That's great life advice. I don't know how much life advice you'd take from Reggie Bush, but hey,
I'd take a lot.
I'll definitely take that. I'd write that in my book and keep it.
Apparently he might be getting his Heisman back. Did you hear that?
Good.
Because they're making all of it legal to where they can profit off their likeness. So he should have never. First off, I would have never given my Heisman back. Like
no, you got to come get it.
Yeah, come get it from me.
Right.
So,
and then catch me.
Exactly.
Because I ran track.
Exactly. You got anything else?
That's all I got.
Guys, I want to thank you all for listening. Really appreciate it. We'll be back Sunday, I think, like normal. We'll be back like normal. We're excited to be back together and back on. We hope you guys have a great week. Hope you all stay happy and healthy. Again, thank you for listening. Sign up for volunteerroadshow.com. Those drawings, football season, 73 days away.
73, Trey Smith days away.
So it's coming up. So make sure you do that because those giveaways are going to be coming up soon. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on YouTube as well as Volunteer Roadshow. We appreciate you all.
Check out those sponsors, Tennessee Tap House and Hound Dogs. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.